So for step 20, attaching the stabilizer. Well, this step is going to be a little bit finicky, I think, because we have our stabilizer rod, we've got these rubber pieces that need to go on, then the balls, and then it's all getting attached with all these little pieces. We've got this brace here, there's the body mount that's got to go on, and then these C5 pieces that, again, this goes through, and then we've got the rubber piece on the other end, and that's how it's being held onto these pieces with sort of a ball in between two rubber pieces. Now the rubber comes in the bag with the oil pieces, and it's very small, and we need to cut it into a number of pieces here. So there's all of the little pieces that we need, and of course there's our screws, washers, and the two MB11 balls. So I'll set this up and we'll put this on. Now I decided to cut the little tube into the four pieces that we need off camera, just so we can get going on this. But from what I can see, we need to build out the stabilizer bar first, and you can see that we need to get the MB7 tube. We're going to stick that on the end. There we go. Push that down. And it looks like they want the end of it to be pretty much at the end of the threads. Oops. So let's say, I don't know, about there. Sort of like an end point, so you're not seeing the threads at this side. And same thing again, grab another piece here, push that on. Come on. It's hard to hold the bar and that, but we're getting there. Okay, we're pretty much at the end there. And then we have the ball, and it looks like this is threaded. So we're just going to spin those on. Just like that. And I guess that's it for that part. So we can leave that there for now. And now it's going to be a matter of attaching everything. So I think what we'll do is let's attach this first. So I can see that this fits this way, and by the looks of it, we have the body mount post is attached to that as well, and that's going to be the MA3, so that's the silver screw. That's going to go through there and into this top hole here. So it's going to go into there. So we can screw that in. Now I'm just going to make sure that it all seems to sit correctly. Seems to. Now this is a softer plastic, that B parts tree, so we are screwing it into the harder plastic, but still you want to make sure you don't completely over tighten. But you can see that that's how the body mount post is going to sit. So now that that's on, let's attach our front area here and get the stabilizer in place. So you can see that we're going to grab one of the MB4 screws. There is a washer. Stick that on there. Then there's the B6 piece. Now, obviously they look the same, but they don't, so it doesn't really matter if you cut them off the parts tree, and you know, you're not going to get them confused is the point, because they only look one way. So you can see that if we take this stabilizer bar, it's going to sit on either side in those grooves. This is going to sit over top of that, just like that, which means that this screw in the washer is going to go through and in to the other side. So let's start screwing that in, making sure that that is going into the hole. There we go. Now, again, I'm not going to screw it down all the way. I first want to see how this is all going to work. So we've got our screw, we've got our washer. We now have the B4 piece, which, as you can see, is going to sit over top of the bar, just like that. And now you've got the screw, which is going to go through into here and into the hole there. Okay, yep. So I can tighten this up now. Make sure that that's sitting properly. Now, I'm going to loosen it off just a touch, because we need to make sure that these all fit as well. So you can see that this ball here, this has to fit over top of that. Now, based on how that is, just make sure you get this right. Notice that one side has holes, one side does not. You can see on the diagram the holes are facing forward. So we're going to want to make sure that that's going on this way. Now I'm going to see if I can push this on with just my fingers. I can. That's awesome. So that now has to fit onto there. Aha! Well, I've already screwed it up partly, because that stabilizer bar does not sit over top. See, even when you... That's my fault on that one. I needed to get the stabilizer under and through, and then this one, and then this one. There we go. And then that would fit into there. But we're not going to do that quite yet because I want to make sure that we get the other side in properly. Through there. And again. Let's get that into there. There we go. And this is screwing in to the B part as well. So again, tighten it, but don't over tighten it. There we go. Now you can see that that will fit into the ball end. So let's see if that'll pop into place. So in the end, I did use the pliers, so you'll see it when I do the other side. It didn't seem to want to go on by hand, and I was having trouble figuring out the positioning of it so that I could actually use the pliers. But once it's done, we just need to put that rubber cap on, and now we have one side of the stabilizer bar complete. So if we go to the other side, and again, remember the raised bit is facing back, we're going to pop this onto here, and should still be able to do that one by hand. There we go. Now that's got to go into here, and we need to pop that onto the ball. Now what I found with the other one is it's easier just to turn it, grab it with the pliers and the ball, and pop it into place. And there we go, it's nice and free. And then we're going to grab the other rubber bit and pop that on at the other side. And there we go. So both are on, so our stabilizer bar is now attached. Very cool. Well, that's great. So now step 20 is complete. So we are going to move on to step 21 and start working on the dampers.